All right, cool. Welcome again to another episode of the Cult of Personality podcast, hosted by yours truly, Mikeymcchoppa. And with us
Mikey
today, we have a very special guest. You've seen her before on the first in-person interview of the podcast that really kind of didn't even have a title, but Sandwich Boy was there, and Tier was there, and Indigo was there, and a bunch of folks. And so it's almost been like 2 years since that. So welcome back again, our current guest, Tier.
What's up? What's up, man?
It's a
Hell
long
yeah.
time overdue. I'm very excited for this one. We're going to talk about, kind of like recap since the last time you've been here. And now, we're going to talk about what you got going on, et cetera, what you're working on. And yeah,
Hell
man,
yeah.
welcome. This is going to be dope. Obviously, we've been in touch for quite a while now, like, 2 years, I feel like, or so. And I feel like the tier lore is a little cryptic, so I'm ready for this one.
Hell yeah, dog. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. So right now you were just telling me you're in Massachusetts and stuff, taking some time away from the New York City life and stuff like that. Talk about that. How's that been?
Yeah, man. Yeah, dog. I was in the streets, bro. I was sleeping in train stations, I was chilling in malls all day doing nothing with myself. And I was looking for resources and shit. And well, I went into a shelter after, and that shit was fucking horrible. That shit was like a bunch of scary dudes in like a big room, and there's like beds placed that are like 5 feet apart. And then every time you go outside to smoke a cigarette, like motherfuckers would come up to you like, "Yo, I got you, bro." That shit was fucking horrible. But yeah, like I was saying, I was looking for resources, and hey, how are you? Um, yeah, I was looking for resources, and thankfully, thank God, this person, Chris and Nolan, very two nice people, they reached out. They were like, "Hey, we have a sober house. You just got to pay this much amount every month. Just do a few things of what we ask, respect the household, and we got you." And everyone's very supportive. Everyone's very you're frozen, so I don't know if you hear me or not, but
I can still hear you. Yeah.
yeah, everyone's been super supportive. Everyone's been really kind, and they picked me up out of the shelter, and now I'm here. Every week we have one NA meeting, two AA meetings, and yeah, and we do breathalyzer tests, we do urine screenings every week. I actually got to do one tonight, and yeah, man, I'm fucking out here just trying to better myself, like I told you earlier, mentally and physically. I'm just applying mad jobs. Um, just try to be a better human being. From what I was before, and honestly, being out here in the nature, like, is like very I don't know how to explain it, like freeing of your mind, like I suck at explaining things.
No, yeah. I mean, it's very grounding, to just be back and also like be away from like it's in contrast to the city. It's like way better, just for like
Yeah,
grounding yourself and
man.
oh yeah.
But yeah, man.
What was I gonna say? I don't know why my connection's like tweaky. Before we continue on, if
I'm
you could just
trying to move closer.
yeah, if before we continue on, if you could just turn your phone sideways so we can have
Oh
you in
yeah,
full frame.
yeah.
Bingo. But
Damn.
no, yeah, I'm glad that you're taking these steps to as you feel the need to better yourself and just keep your health in good health and stuff like that. And that's awesome. That's like a great note. Like it's just like sometimes we need to take those steps away from wherever or whatever to just really like work on ourselves so we can come back like really 100, you know?
Right, right.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. I haven't even like, bro, I used to smoke and drink like almost every day, and now that I'm here, like I haven't thought of that like once, man. Like I've been eating good, I've been like helping around the house, washing dishes, fucking we set up a fucking patio for the fucking grill. We put fucking bricks in the ground. Like all this shit is awesome, and you know you can always talk to. I mean, I can always talk to anybody and everybody. No one's judgmental at all. You know, and it's awesome.
Right. Yeah. I think that's so dope. I think that's so awesome. And you know, it's also like it's cool because you know, as your peer, as your friend, I didn't even know you were going through these struggles or whatever for real, you know. So I'm glad that you took it upon yourself to really get the help that you felt you needed, you know, because that's
Thank
like
you.
that takes a lot of courage and a lot of awareness.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah, but that's dope, and I'm glad you know it's dope. You sometimes you really need time away from the city. Like Massachusetts sounds lit. I hope that the woods and everything is chilling. But
It is.
not to like what's the word? Beat around the bush or whatever. But I would like to get into like the meat and cheese of the interview. You know, the main question, the trademark question that we've had for quite some time now. Cheer, the name, the image, the aura, and the energy. How did it start? How did we get here? And everything in between, kind of like your origin story.
Fuck, man. Fuck. Shit, man. Goddamn, motherfucking. I was born in New York, Brooklyn. I was raised in a little family, like a nice little Italian neighborhood in Bay Ridge. You know, my parents didn't really have much. They were pretty poor. Fucking pops was an alcoholic. Mom was fucking not doing much. Fucking so I fucking shit just went fucking down, man. Uh, bro, I'm gonna give you the whole rundown, but I'm gonna be as brief as possible.
Go for it. Go for it.
Fucking dad gets into fights. We all know how that goes. Divorce. Fucking then me and my mom moved to another Italian neighborhood. I don't know what's up with her in Italian neighborhoods, but yeah, we moved to Bensonhurst, and it was just me and my mom, and it was still bad. Like we were struggling to pay rent, and fucking landlords would fucking bust their balls like every fucking day, and I tried to like fucking like stand up for her and like shit, and then my mom couldn't fucking take that shit no more, and then she was like, "All right, I'm moving to Russia," and I was like, "Oh, okay." Like what? And
Out of
that,
nowhere.
yeah, out of nowhere, and I was like, "All right, I guess I'm gonna have to learn to fucking survive by myself." And fucking got to work at a ski shop, Shot Up Panda Sport, in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Um, yeah, I fucking was working as a technician. I would fucking keys, set up snowboard bindings, fucking do sharpen the waxes on the machine and shit. That shit was dope. That shit was awesome. And then I fucking, oh my god. And then this fucking, yo, what's up, bro? And then this fucking, I used to, alright, so then I moved in Sunset, and then I was barely even like surviving out there. And then this one fucking, I don't even want to get into that. But then, let's see. I don't know, man. Spending a lot of time in New York, and like all this time I had in New York was just like getting fucked up every day and just not really doing much with myself, and like being out here like really like shows me like I can do it, you know, I'm worth something, and I shouldn't fucking fuck myself over every day with fucking alcohol and drugs and fucking sit around all day waiting and expecting for something to happen, even though I'm not doing shit for myself. But yeah, man, like the people you surround yourself, you really become them. And
Right. Hell yeah.
what were you gonna say something?
No, I was gonna even say, no, I mean, I like where you're going right now. I do have a question, but I feel like I'll ask it once you like have this portion through.
No, you can go ahead. You can go ahead. I'm kind of
Yeah,
lost.
because no, honestly, where I wanted to ask in all of this, you know, you talk about coming up in Brooklyn and it being kind of a hard situation from the jump and shit like that. Where did music
Yeah.
find you in all of this, or where did you find music and, you know, kind of coming to here as we know when it comes to DJing and et cetera, or even just listening to music as a consumer, you know?
I mean, I haven't made a song in such a long time. Like, I like tried to, but then like then I tried to do this shit on my phone, but then like this was before I had an iPhone, and I was on the fucking Android, and that shit kept like fucking lagging and shit, and I was like, I'm not, I can't, it's too much. But what's it called? As an artist and a DJ, like I really find it therapeutic to like mix songs, like do transitions into other songs, mix and mash two songs that would never ever go together, but have the same BPM or whatever. You know, all that stuff is super fun, and like DJing in front of a crowd is always awesome, but somewhat anxiety inducing. But I haven't done that stuff in a minute, you know, and I'm okay not doing it, but I do want to do it, but I'm just focusing on life priorities right now. But as a music consumer, I don't really know what to say. Like, um, I don't know why people hate on country music. Like, people don't really like country music, and I'm just like, hey man, like this is the most like soulful like music you'll probably hear. Like, also like what you consume in music like really affects your mind like day to day for real. Like motherfuckers be listening to fucking, oh, I fucked that bitch, I got that money, I'm sipping lean, like and that shit isn't really healthy for your mind, you know. Like, not saying one genre is better than the other,
No,
it's
yeah.
just like it really does have an effect on your mental, you know. Like if you listen to sad music every day, you're gonna be sad. You know, you listen to angry music, you're gonna probably be kind of angry. You know.
I like that you touch on environmental factors when it comes to both like friends or people and music. It's like, yeah, the music you listen to definitely affects what you're doing every day, or the people you surround yourself with, you know, you eventually affects what you're doing every day. And I think that's so important, and it goes even back to like you kind of reclusing back to fucking Massachusetts and really just focusing on yourself right now. But I think what's
Yeah.
going on is like you're like in this cool transitional point between like kind of giving like a half effort or being like a little like almost like lost, you know, and like right now you're really like I feel like honing in and focusing on what you should be prioritizing, you know? Like the art and the company you keep, et cetera, et cetera.
Thank you for saying that, cause yeah, man, I'm really just trying to drop like I'm trying to be like a lizard shedding its skin, you know, drop that dead skin away and just become that new version of myself, you know.
Right.
And like I said earlier, I haven't thought of fucking weed, alcohol, nothing, none of that shit. I still have my one vice, you know. It's not good. It's not good, but it's what gets me through.
Right.
Don't smoke if you don't smoke. But yeah, man. I went on a fucking trail the other day. That shit was really beautiful. Like, just hearing all the different types of birds and like seeing all the trees and like just breathing in the clean air is just so therapeutic and peaceful for your mind and your like mental like inner self. Is like it's really mind opening. And you know, being in the city is just like dreadful, like all I fucking did. was sitting around and fucking bullshit. And, like, being in the city, like, for me at least, like, took a toll on my mental health and, like, the people I was surrounded with. And, like, you know, because, I don't know, motherfuckers, like, motherfuckers got their ego all up in their head. And I just wanted to fucking spread love. But unfortunately, I got lost into drugs and addiction. And now I'm here trying to work on myself in the beautiful world, trying to see the light in the world, you know?
Word
I
up.
don't know where I'm like, I'm kind of like yapping right now. So I'm
No,
sorry.
no, it's fine. I honestly wanted to touch back. Like, I like what you're talking about though, because again, it keeps going back to a conversation we keep touching on with like really just taking this time away to focus on yourself and really prioritize what's important. Talking about people's like it's so bro, in the city it's so easy to get wrapped up in so much fuck shit, or in any city, I can only imagine people in
Yeah,
LA relate as well, like because there's so like number one, like people live in the city or live anywhere and they get so warped, especially when they don't like go anywhere else. They get so warped into thinking that like they're like in like this little dome or whatever, people get so full of ego, people get airheaded or whatever, so I could
um,
get like I could understand getting like tired of that and that becoming played out and like just being like, that between substance, between lack of motivation. It's like I just need to separate myself from this situation completely.
right. And
I like. Oh, continue.
people, sorry to cut you
No, it's
off,
okay.
but, and I can speak for this on myself. We get really comfortable in the uncomfortableness. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like, we'll fucking be in the worst environment ever and just be as lazy as possible and to think that's okay, but like, it's really not.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
bro. No. Yeah. It's like even like now, just like with everything going on in the world, like for me, I'm super like political and everything right now. So everything with me is like this whole like Palestine, Israel, everything, and like my whole thing of like, yo, people are so warped, or people are so da da da. Like today, especially, like this morning, even, like people are like, oh, like yo, I just woke up to mad people on social media like throwing subs at me or in my comments, like for like
What?
for going to protest or whatever. They're like, oh,
No way.
me watching people trying to make a change or whatever, and da da da, knowing that it's useless or whatever. And it's just like a bunch of people in the city or a bunch of people in general, like projecting their like, oh, I can't do anything in the world, so nobody else can do anything in the world mentality onto people. And it's just like, bro, like how warped are you for you to believe that? Because if you pick up like one book or look at any part of the world that isn't America, you would realize that it's possible and that revolution is possible or making your voice heard is possible, that everything that we've done as humans was done by humans, Like, come on.
Yeah.
So,
Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
yeah. Bro, I wish I can go to them fucking protests, man. I was looking at your story like, oh my god, this is beautiful. Like, look at all these people like coming together, and it's so awesome. And fucking all these dumbass fucking police officers just fucking standing there like, whoa.
Yeah, bro, and
But
it just like the point of it for real is like it goes to show you that if people can dismiss like human life or like a genocide, for example, people are so warped about the littlest shit. Oh shit, there we go. People are so warped about like the littlest shit, like especially when it comes to like music or scene or whatever. People let ego get to their fucking head. If people can let ego get to their head enough to ignore genocide, people are letting their ego enough to fucking do any fuck shit.
yeah, yeah, like motherfuckers will fucking post their most recent song, but not like repost the post about like Palestine or something, and it's fucking wild, man.
Where's our awareness as human beings and as artists? We are human beings before we are artists. So where's the humanity before the
Right.
artistry?
We all bleed the same. We all got the same blood. We all got bones, you know?
Oh
Let's
yeah.
come together and fucking work together.
I like that you
But
touch. I like that you. Oh, continue. Sorry.
oh no, go ahead, go ahead.
I like that you touched earlier on the country music. I mean, we talk about factors and stuff like that of just like living. To be honest, we're just kind of talking about life. But I like that you
Right.
mentioned the country music and like also what people are consuming music wise because bro, like I've really been on the same shit like with folk music, especially like folk music outside of America and in other places too. Like it's just so dope. Like it's such a dope thing and I just want to touch on that real quick because I feel like I overlooked it real quick. People are so quick to hate on country music and folk music and I'm like, bro, there's so much good folk and country, especially like now it's so applicable to the times, but people don't like that real music, you know?
Yeah, like why not? Like people are so like wrapped around and like closed minded and like stuck on like one thing. Like, hey man, like just try it out, give it a shot,
It goes back, yeah, it goes back to the ego too. Like it's just
Yeah,
like people think that they're too high and mighty for certain things, you know? I'm too good for
100.
country music. Like what does that mean? But no, yeah, I like that you talk about that, especially as a consumer, because like I feel like it leads us into a good conversation. But before we lead into that conversation, it's just like it's dope because I like when people like talk about these things or bring up variety because people are so quick to like only just talk about or be influenced by like what's trending and whatever. So you
Right.
automatically going off the bat and bringing up country and folk. I want to ask about other influences and musical influences that kind of affected you and stuff like that, or really have a strong impact on you. And then we'll
Hmm.
go back to what else we're talking about.
Um. Hey man, I love everything. Like I will listen to anything and everything. Like honestly, but like right now, like I've been listening to a lot of like old school hip hop, like Wu Tang, Big L, like fucking god damn it, fucking I don't even fucking know. Yeah, just a lot of fucking old school hip hop. So I really I like the way they dress. I like the way they like back in the day it wasn't like skibbity bobbity boobity, like it was like real storytelling with rhymes and like it was like articulated well, like the
That
way they
real
like
poetry.
rapped about it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. I just been listening to a lot of like 80s, 90s hip hop.
That's dope. I like that you touched on that because like not to sound like an old head for real because there obviously is good new music, but I realize that like a lot of the good music or a lot of music that we should be looking at and like really taking influence from is like really like
Hey,
yeah,
yeah,
literally. Because I don't know.
yeah.
I feel
It
like
was
what's
more
going on.
genuine back then.
Right.
It was more pure.
Yeah, especially like right now, like there's a conversation of like why aren't the music reflecting the times like in today's world, and like that always like bugs me as well. Like I just feel like today's music is very artificial sometimes, and
Yeah,
um, and also you have to remember that like the music that we have today is like influenced by like the past as well. So it's like
yeah,
if we keep getting influenced by like the new music, and because eventually the music now is going to be the past, and we'll be like, yeah, this dude was influenced by this guy, Little Uzi or whatever, or this or that. But like it kind of creates a domino effect of then like how much influence are we going to take from people who aren't putting out the same genuineness that we were like 20, 30 years ago. It's a fun
right.
conversation to have about time and music and authenticity. But
Yeah, man. No,
it's funny.
go ahead. I don't even know what I was gonna say.
I'm yapping for real right now. I'm not gonna lie. Like
No,
I
it's
really
great.
didn't wake up that long ago. Like I texted you right when I woke up. I got into the shower and then I've just been like chilling.
Hell yeah, dog.
Hell yeah. But honestly now, so we talked about like kind of like where you've been, or like we talked about even your startup, where you've been, what you're doing right now. And like I want to also ask about like so now that you're in this like transitional point, you're really grounding yourself, you're away from all the fucking bullshit here in New York City. And so now where's
No, hey, I love New York City. I grew up there.
no yeah.
Fucking beautiful. It's just there's some bad people, and you just gotta like find the right place and the right people. But yeah, what were you saying?
No, yeah, I just really want to ask also, or I'm curious to know, like, where does it go from here? Where does Tier go from here in the sense of music and just in general, like, what are your plans for the sense of after Massachusetts? Do you want to come back to New York? When it comes to music, is it DJing? Like, et cetera, et cetera.
Hmm. Like, I mean, I I definitely want to come back, but like I want to move out here. Like I want to stay like somewhere in like a suburban area. You know what I mean? I want to like because it's way cheaper out here, and it's like more like lively. I don't know. I don't even know if that's a word.
Rural.
Lively,
Yeah.
rural. Yeah, you know, like people walk by and say like I don't even know you, and you say hello to me. Like you know, out here,
Yo,
it's just
bro, that's
keep it
really how it
pushing,
be.
bro. Just keep walking and like get to where you're going. But like out here, it smiles. Like next door neighbor, like always like yaps about random shit. She's awesome,
That's sick,
and
yeah.
you know it's fucking beautiful out here, man.
That's like the one up I realized to like places outside of the city, which I'm like right in the middle about it because I really don't care for it. But like when I moved upstate, bro, like people are very overtly friendly. They're like, "Hey, how's it going, buddy? How
Yeah,
are you?" And you're
yeah,
like,
and I love that. I love that. I mean, at first, I was like, what? I don't even know you. Why are you saying hi to me? You know, what the fuck? But like now, I'm like, hello, how you doing? You know, because that shit just like kind of like makes me a little happy in my day. You know, that like brings me a little more joy. You know, because I didn't really have that.
yeah, and it really goes back to like the conversation of even like being grounded. Like I think like bro, in the city, like again, people are so quick to fall into ego and shit, but in the city, you're so quick to fall into anything, like anything.
Right.
But I think with the city, like everyone's like the main character in the head. Everyone's pushing forward, moving
Oh my
fast as
God,
fuck.
100%.
Everyone's in their phone. Everyone's so quick to ignore everything that's going on around them because it's like a very overstimulating environment by nature inherently. So when you go to like I don't know, like places outside even Massachusetts or upstate New York or anywhere rural, like you really do have the time to just like really enjoy the quiet and like process what's going on, process yourself, like just process shit. There's no like image or thing to live up to because the city is like very like I don't know, bro. The city's weird. The city is weird. I gotta admit it because when you go like to rural areas, there's not that sense of like I don't know, like a facade or like ego or competitiveness
Right,
or like
right.
anything of the sort, or even like
In the big book,
ignoring or.
in the NA book, um, it talks about the I and the me, and the me is the ego and what you see as what you think others see as you, and the
Right,
I is your mental and who you actually are.
right.
But you know, a lot of people are stuck in that me.
Mhm.
What is me? What is me going to do? Instead of focusing on the I and what am I going to do? You know?
Right, right. Focus on the external rather than like the internal. Even like like a lot of people are just focused on like their like what I like a word. It's like a chula chaki, which is like kind of like your skinwalker, like your picture, like your shell. Like
Exactly.
rather
Yeah.
than your soul, your being. And I like that we bring that up in the grounding thing again because like again in the city you don't talk to anybody. Like I don't know any of my neighbors' names for real. I think I know like one of my neighbors
Yeah.
on my floor and on my apartment building. Over there you're like, hey neighbor, and it's like it's dope.
Exactly.
You're just like literally like you're just more in the world around you, and I think that's cool. And that's a dope. It's dope.
It's really beautiful, man. Really beautiful. Like one night, like I just came out here, smoked a cigarette, and just like looked at the stars in the sky. Like even in New York, bro, like you don't see that many stars
That
because
light pollution goes
polluted.
crazy.
Exactly. Yeah, and all the buildings and shit. Like out here, I really just sat down and just like took 30 minutes to just enjoy the beautiful sky and just like thought a bunch of fucking thoughts about life and shit.
No, yeah, bro, and
Yeah.
I'm really happy that everything that like we're kind of just talking about is you just really like taking what's the expression like you stopping and smelling the roses or like,
Exactly. Right.
and I just think that's so cool because I think it's really necessary for every like person in general, but especially when it comes to being a creative or a creator, like bro, you can't always just keep going and
Right. That shit
like
takes a
kind of
toll
like
on your mental health.
yeah, with like blinders on, ears blurred, just going forward like a robot, Sometimes you really got to just sit there and be like, damn, shit ain't right. Like, I really got to make some changes. I think that's so dope. I think it's really courageous. I think it's dope.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. And like you were saying, yeah, a lot of people like should do this, and like not saying they should go to a sober house, but like take a second and like also in like NA meetings they were talking about like just taking a pause to like really think to yourself like what's going on, like what am I doing, like, and what can I do to like do something better, you know?
Right.
What can I change
I like
in a
that
positive way?
I like that you bring that up too, because you're like, oh, you don't have to go to a sober house, but it's funny because we start talking about all this, and the conversation starts with like substance and da 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 whatever, and like wanting to get clean. But then it's like really, it's not only applicable to people who do any. You could be straight edge sober, and like in the society that we live in, we definitely deal with a lot of mental illness, diagnosed and undiagnosed, and so like substance and like for example, like any vice or whatever is only a mere like 1% of the bigger issue. There's plenty of we all cope differently, pretty much is what I'm trying to say. So like even though you're like, oh, I'm here and this is how I'm finding out that I should take time away to really pause. There's people who need to find in another way that they're also dealing with whatever that they're coping with, and they need to take time away and pause. Everyone needs to take time away and pause, especially right now in the world we live in. Like everyone's super stressed out, bro. Whether it's having to work for the man, whether it's seeing fucking dead people on the internet, whether it's fucking the homeless, whether it's, fucking discrimination against people because of race or sexuality or religion or anything of the sort. That shit takes a mental toll, and sometimes you need to just really just reflect on the changes that need to be made personally and in general as one consciousness,
Yeah, reflect, get out of your own body and just like look at yourself from a like outside perspective and just let's work on ourselves. Let's do
be
something
open to working on ourselves. Yeah, word. Because people
but
don't even want to admit. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot. Like a lot of people are in denial, but it's hard to take that first step. And I'm happy. Like I'm really proud of myself for like admitting my faults. Admitting what's wrong with me, and fucking at like now like at NA like you say hi, my name is blah blah blah, I'm an addict, like that was like weird for me to say, but now it's just like yeah man, I'm an addict.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think what it is too is like people make such a bigger deal out of what like people like make things so taboo or like blasphemous that people are afraid to when people fall into these taboos or anything, they're afraid to articulate it in a way that they don't like to even hear it. They're like, I don't want to say I'm an addict. I'm just someone who uses a lot. And it's like, okay, but like, it's not wrong to say that you're an addict or that you use a lot.
Right.
It's just like, let's just be honest so we can get past that. And you don't even have to define yourself by that once you start working against it, and working towards solving the problem. Well, if you deny it, there's no, you're not even.
Then that's the problem. That's the problem.
Right, exactly.
We have to accept that of ourselves.
This is a really important conversation, and it's honestly, this was an important conversation I wasn't even anticipating on having, because I was like, all right, like I know that, et cetera, we're going through life, but I figured like it would just be a talk about music and stuff like that, But this is a very important conversation for the sake of that there's a lot of young people in the same exact shoes as both you and I when it comes to how we feel about a lot of things in society and in our environments. And it's such an important message for you to like say like, bro, it's not wrong to really analyze what's going on within yourself and around you. It's not wrong to separate yourself from these things. It's not wrong. Like it's actually necessary even,
Yeah, 100%. Like everyone like I go on social media and everyone's like suicidal and like all this shit, and I'm just like, oh my god, man, like let's do something about it, man. Like like I don't want to like I don't know, man. No, I have love for your body, but we just like you said, like we got to take those steps and like really realize like what's up,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, for real. And I hope that your words stick with anyone who like resonates and whatever. Your words stick with me. And in all of this, I hope you come back to whether it's New York or just music or whatever, and I really hope that you can like make an impact because I think a lot more, a lot like I feel like there's scenes and there's artists and there's people that need someone like you to just like have that conversation and just be real as fuck about it, just be like,
Oh,
yo, like
thank
I went
you.
through X, Y, and Z and I'm here and I'm back and I'm making music or I'm doing DJing or I'm just at the show and I'm listening to this shit and I'm good and I'm chilling and what's up,
Yeah. Oh man, I have a topic I want to talk about. Fucking, I hate how artists that yap about the same shit like blow up. Like everyone talks about the same thing, and then there's like this one dude blows up out of nowhere, and they're all rapping about the same thing. Fucking, like I said earlier, drugs, sex, money, and it's like okay, like you have a unique sound, but like why is it getting so popular even though like they're all talking about the same shit? Like I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like when someone raps about like real shit and
Yeah.
real stuff about life and stuff, like that doesn't like usually blow up. That shit don't get popular, and it's like why? Like why do people want to consume like all this negative stuff? Like I don't get it, man. I
It's
don't
it's
get
it's funny. Yeah, no, it's crazy because like on the physical level, it's like on a very logical level, it's just like why? Like really, why the fuck are people so into this shit for real? But on like a spiritual like frequency thing, it's like, bro, these are all just people emitting the same like low frequencies and attracting each other. So like unfortunately there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people who are on the same low frequency that these artists are on and it's a very surfaced frequency talking about like very materialistic shit that really doesn't matter or
Right.
objectifying women or anything like that and or objectifying people in general because I feel like now it's both sides. There's female rappers that also objectify men and talk about just getting dick and getting a bag. And we're just letting like a lot of these like talking points and rhetorics and these things like ruin the culture and toxify the culture. And this is like something that people have been saying for like eons and nobody listens anymore, but it's because the people who are on this low frequency are going to just be the people in denial and the ignorant ones that are just like, oh, fuck that. I want to turn up. I want to get fucking lit and I want to fuck some bitches. And it's like, all right, bro, but like, think about your soul. Think about what you're doing to yourself. Think about waking up the next morning and how you feel.
Yeah. Like I guarantee all the motherfuckers feel like shit every day.
Yeah, it's just your health and your chakras and everything, bro. You feel a lot lighter when you take care of yourself. I noticed that. I know that, and this is not like the thing is that people would think that we're yapping, like who the fuck are these guys? What do they know? But like we're speaking from like experience for real, like
Yeah. 100%.
yeah. But yeah, no, I agree with you because like when it comes to that shit, bro, like music and art, again, I talk about how sacred music is and how it's a universal language that we really don't value or utilize enough. And when it comes to people like that, like very low frequency people, they're not like unique sound my ass even because I feel like 9 times out of 10 like now people just like all are clones of like the top guy. So like
Yeah,
one year it was
that's
Yeet.
why I did quotation marks.
Yeah, one year it's Yeet, one year it's Cemetery, one year it's fucking another thing. Like who are you guys
Yeah,
gonna copy
yeah.
next?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just like but that's again it's a lot of posers, a lot of low frequency, a lot of people just trying to get lit and they're trying to find an avenue or a channel to express that low frequency that they're on. And but I have hope for humanity in general because I feel like as a one consciousness of humanity, I feel like we are evolving and elevating. I feel like a lot more people are making the realizations that you and I are talking about and stuff like that. So I think there's
So
hope.
man, I hope so. I'm fucking praying.
Yeah. There's hope. There's hope. The kids are all right, you know?
uh,
Hell yeah. But continuing on and moving forward, I want to talk about when it comes to like really just like music videos, anything like really just music oriented, like are you even focused on honing back in on like the music or the DJing, or are you just kind of just like chilling?
I'm just like I'm sort of just taking a break to just like I try to like write lyrics and stuff and like put something together like sometimes, but like right now I'm just like focused on like bettering myself, my mental and physical self, and like saving up for like a place to like have, and
That's
just
it.
like,
Some real life shit.
yeah, man. And then I can do all that fun stuff. That'll be my reward.
I get you. Really getting on your feet before you take another shot at it. I like that.
Exactly.
Again,
Yeah.
really just taking the proper steps to like get on your feet and do your shit.
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here in the sober house to get sober, to fucking better myself and better the ones around me. Go to NA, AA, help like I just said, help myself, fucking help others if I can, and just like go through the steps. Like I'm trying to read that NA book. I read a chapter on death and grief, and that was a tough one. Fucking rednecks driving their fucking truck mad loud. Fucking yeah, you know. And in the big book it says all addicts die. Either if it's a real death or it's your like subconscious death of like your past.
Right. Yeah, that's a very once you perceive it for what that statement's actually saying, it's like, oh shit, that's really cool, and I think it's so important, man. I just think all this shit's so important when it comes to what you're doing right now. Before we like start wrapping up the interview and stuff, um, just like what are you doing in like this meantime though? Like while you're here in Massachusetts, like what do they got you doing in the sense of like
Yeah, man. Like
I
I
see you're
said,
hitting the books and stuff, so I feel like it's just a cool convo, like educating yourself and shit like that. I'm like, that's dope. What else do they got? Like, what else are you doing? While you got this time.
yeah, man. So every time after an NA or AA or any sort of type of meeting, like we even have in-house meetings where we all like just sit down and like talk about like everything that's going on, and it's like sort of like an NA or slash AA meeting, except more like because everyone in the house knows each other, everyone's chill, and like we just talk and like see how everyone's doing, and then we say the thing, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, to accept the things, I don't really know. I gotta get that shit stuck in my head. I gotta engrave
I
it in my
should know
head.
it. I should know it because my partner has it. Lena has it tatted on her arm. I should know it too.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
really amazing. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. It's a good one. I like that one. It's like grant me strength for things I can't change.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
something for the things I can't, whatever, and etc. Perseverance. It's like all that really good shit. Yeah,
yeah.
man.
But like as I'm here, like I was saying, like every time we come back from a meeting, we have a chore. Everyone's assigned a chore to do. Like I gotta clean the bathroom. Like it's not like I don't care. Like it's not bad.
Right.
I find it nice, but like as like I know for a fact, like I'm gonna get so used to it that like I'm just gonna want to like clean the bathroom every time or just like wash the dishes every time instead of like being lazy and like putting it off to the side. It's gonna like be engraved in my head. I need to do this, and like it leaves you feeling good. Like it's like a workout. Like you don't feel good doing
Yeah.
it, but then when you're done, like it's like, oh shit, I feel good.
That sense of accomplishment. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I feel you, trust me, because like I don't know, like I feel you. Literally, I like the same thing. It's like I had to like recently. I was like really depressed and like in a funk, and I just wasn't getting anything done. I wasn't cleaning shit. I wasn't really taking care of the house or taking care of anything. I was just kind of like just on autopilot. And then one day, like after having conversations with like Lena and shit, I'm just like, I'm like, damn, like I'm fucked up in the game. Like I need to take a second, and like so now. Like, every time that I'm like, oh, I should do that, but later I'm like, you know what, actually, let me go do it now. And like, it really is like a thing of like disciplining yourself. Like, and I know it's like, even people
Yeah.
be like, oh, as stupid as the dishes. But yes, bro, sometimes the dishes is that chore that I'm like, I'll do it later. And then it piles up and it really is a representation of like your health. And like,
$100%.
you're not only neglecting like your home, it kind of is like a meta way of saying like, of showing how you're even neglecting yourself. It's like, oh, I even want to shower. Fuck that. I'll do it later. It's like, mental health is very important. Mental health is very
Very
important.
important.
Hell yes. I love that. I love that. Before we reach towards the wrap up of the interview, I do want to ask you if there's anything else you want to talk about, because I can't cover obviously every topic, and I feel like it's your interview, it's how you want to be presented. So, any last topics to touch?
I don't know, man. I have no idea, man. Not really.
No, I think it was such a dope conversation, and like honestly, to be honest with you, I didn't know like where this conversation was gonna go, because I know you taking the time away from music. I know you were kind of like doing your own thing, and I'm like, all right, So music isn't gonna be like such an urgent conversation, but we're friends, so obviously we're gonna have a good convo no matter what. And so this was just a really important conversation that needed to be had. I feel like
Yeah, man.
it's really
I just
really
want to say,
motivating.
like, no problem is big or small, everyone struggles, everyone goes through their own thing, and like, don't be scared to reach out for help, because help is always there. It's just a matter of like you like asking for it and like exiting out of that shell. Don't be embarrassed, don't be scared, like you got this if you're struggling or not.
Right.
Don't be scared to ask for a helping hand, because there will always be help, and it's up to you to get that. Not you, but the viewer or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, and I think that's a perfect way to leave off. It's just like really about being aware, being real, being cautious, being healthy, like really just taking care of yourself, longevity, etc., etc. So now, which leads us to the wrap up of the podcast, which is the same question every time. Tier, what do you got going on next day, week, month, year, century, or decade, century, millennium? And it doesn't have to be music related or anything related. It could be what you're eating for breakfast tomorrow. Just give us a rundown.
Damn, bro, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing right now, bro. You said decade, century?
You don't got to answer all of it, but
No,
what you just got going in the future?
Let's see. Oh, the sky is fucking clearing up. It was raining earlier, now it's clearing up, so that's nice. That's crazy. Let's see, just going to meetings and just talking with strangers that are going through struggles, getting a perspective on life, perspectives from other people, just, yeah, just living in the silver house with the homies.
Yeah, man.
Trying to better myself,
Yeah, and that's chill, man. I think this was awesome. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for giving me this hour and really just being so real and vulnerable and talking about real shit,
I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for having me on, man.
Of course. This is long overdue. We've been wanting to do this for quite some time.
For real.
This was dope, and this is season 6. I think the last time I had you on the show, I don't even know what season we were on, like 3. So it's crazy. Or 4. Or not even 3 or 2 even, it might have been. But anyway.
Something.
This was the Cult of Personality podcast, hosted by yours truly, Mikeymcchoppa. Oh my god.
Mikeymcchoppa.
The fucking header image on the YouTube and the SoundCloud and the Twitter maybe still is literally done by Tier. Shout out Tier.
Yo, I'll draw you another one, bro. I can make an updated version.
That would be sick. Yeah, I love that one. I love that one because I love that one so much, and I've had it since literally we did that interview, because it was like, the fucking table, and we had the whole setup, and it was just like a little Cult of Personality on the paper. I was like, that's so sick.
ADHD bussin', and I was just drawing, because I low-key had anxiety, so I was just doing little graffiti letters, and then I was like, oh, let me just draw your name, the name of the podcast on the paper. Or what was it? It was on a Cheez-It box or something?
It was bro, we had on a Cheez-It box, and then you had on a piece of paper, and I think we stuck it to the wall with a piece of gum or some shit.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. But hell yeah, bro! Thank you for giving me the last hour of your time and just talking real shit.
Yeah, man. Of course.
Hell yeah, and thank you, viewers, for listening and watching for the last hour. I don't know who I'm interviewing next week. Peace, love, and hair grease. Peace in the Middle East. Free Palestine.
Peace and love. Free Palestine.
All eyes on Rafa. And peace out, man.
Peace.